Irene, thank you very much for coming along to Barry War Museum and Heritage Centre today to take part in our human library of those who were alive during World War II. First of all, how old were you during World War II?
I was 8 when it started and 13 when it finished, so took my childhood.
And what memories can you share with us?
Well, it was terrifying for a child, I think so. When we went to school, it was a case of if the siren went, if you were near a school, you had to run to school. Otherwise, you ran home. But we found that even if we were near school, we'd always go home.
And did you have an air raid shelter in your home?
Yes, we had one that it was the Anderson shelter, you know. It held about 12. It was quite a big one because there was 2 families, you know. But I felt safe there.
And can you remember hearing bombs falling?
Oh yeah, the noise, yes, was bad, yeah.
And did you know anybody who lost their life?
Well, there was a few people in Barry, I understand, but I can't say I knew them. But there was 2, well, about my age children, came to live in the top of the street, and their parents had got killed in Cardiff, and they were sent to Barry, like, you know, so to a relation, like, you know, which was very sad.
Now, don't think the children from Barry were evacuated, were they?
I don't think so.
I think you had
not that I
evacuees
know
come to
of.
Barry.
Yeah, because it wasn't too bad, I don't think, compared to a lot of places, you know. Frightening, like, you know, it was to us anyway. I think it was more frightening towards the end of when you thought the Germans were going to win and what they were going to do to, well, children like me, you know, like, what, 13, 14, you know. That was a frightening part, I think.
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
I had a sister, yeah.
And was she older or younger?
She was 3 years younger than me.
Your father, was your father joined
My
up?
father was in the First World War. He was, we've been trying to find out exactly where he was, but I think he mentioned the Somme and places like that, yeah. Very lucky to come through it, like, you know. He said that he was I don't know whether injured in some way or other. Not physically, I don't think. I think it was like shell shock type of thing. And when he came to, he was in the south of England in a hospital. So, you know, very lucky really.
And what did your father do during the Second World War?
He was in the home guard and, you know, fire watching, that type of thing. Yes, he was, you know, sort of, he used to jolly us along because he, you know, he sort of, to him it wasn't that, you know, bad as it was to us, like, you know. He used to have a laugh about it, you know, just to cheer the children on, you know.
And what about rationing? What can you recall about rationing during the Second World War?
Oh, we used to have 4 Ds and 4 Es. One was worth 2 ounces and the other one an ounce. And I think it worked out about 12 ounces for a month. So that's, but your mother and father used to give you they'd do without to give you, you know.
Did you grow vegetables in your garden?
My father did. My father was a great, he had some beautiful allotments. Of course, after the war, they took them for housing. But during the war and that, he had some beautiful, you know, we always had plenty of green stuff, you know, that. But of course, meat is at a premium, like, you know. But
and of course, no sweets.
No, I don't think it did you any harm anyway.
So you all had good teeth.
Yeah, but we had, I used to go on fruit, you know, and that type of thing. So I can remember going into the, you know, greengrocers, and you'd buy a couple of carrots and things like that, you know, which was something to eat, but not quite as sweet.
And I understand you have a story of witnessing a dogfight over the channel. Can you talk to us?
Well, I
about
think
that?
it was sort of a hearsay type of thing. It was, we were over here, you know, because there was a sort of a lean-to at this end of the building when it was just used for, used to stand under there because a train had come along and on this one time there was all shrapnel hitting the roof, and they were saying about it then. There was some, and my mother was with us as well, and she was one of these people that she couldn't see, she could see wrong in people, but you know, when it came to the one plane come down and they said, oh, he's a German, you know, nothing, and she was quite upset. She said it's some mother's son, so it's true, isn't it? Yeah. And I had a cousin that was 4.5 years with a Japanese prisoner of war. He was in Singapore when it fell, and they were taken prisoner, thousands of them, and they worked on the railway, you know, the Burmese railway. Yeah, but he came back. Yeah, he saw his son for the first time. I think he was 4.5, 5-year-old.
And that some of the memories that those prisoners of war had were bad, how they were treated by the Japanese.
Well, you know, my mother said to him, she could see he had a mark on his face, you know, and she said, were they cruel to you, son? And he said, well, let's put it this way, he said, they're more to be pitied than blamed. And that's all he said. He wouldn't say anything else about them. Just said they're more to be pitied than blamed. So, there you are.
And after the war ended, obviously the war had ended, but Britain was still in austerity and still rationing, bomb sites everywhere. What memories do you have of Britain trying to get back on its feet?
Well, I can't, I can remember the Americans were still here for a long time after the war. And we had a bad winter. I don't know what year it was. And it was the year I left school. And they were still here. You know, when they were, well, if it hadn't been for them, they wouldn't have cleared the roads in Barry. They brought the bulldozers out and they were clearing Western Hill and that, you know. But D-Day was, he was strange. All everything you can think of in the way of a truck or a jeep or a tanker, all on the road leading onto the dock. And then the next morning, nothing, nobody.